Hey guys, I welcome you all to this session. So I hope you guys can hear me and you guys can see my screen. And if everything is proper, you can let me know in the chat. And in the meanwhile, I'd like to let you know that we have launched a completely free learning platform called as Great Learning Academy, where you have access to more than 100 courses with respect to data science, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and a lot more. So I'll just open up Great Learning Academy and show it to you guys over here. So this is the site for Great Learning Academy. And as you see, we regularly conduct a lot of live sessions. So if you'd want to sign up the next few live sessions, you can go and register over here. And we have all of these free courses over here. So if you'd want to enroll for any of these courses, you can just click on enroll now and you'll be enrolled over here. And the best part is once you complete these courses, you will get a course completion certificate, which you can go ahead and add onto your resume, which will be a huge value add to you guys. Okay, so I believe some of you are saying that some of you are saying no sound, some of you are saying you can hear me. Could you guys give me a proper confirmation? Can you guys hear me properly? I'm just waiting for you guys to give me a confirmation. Okay, great. Right. So as I was telling you guys about Great Learning Academy, if you guys are interested over here, you will find the link for Great Learning Academy in the chat section. You can go ahead and click on the link and you'll be redirected over here. And also for those folks who are new to our channel, I'd like to request you guys to subscribe to our channel and also click the bell icon, as it will encourage us to come up with more such live sessions on a regular basis. And also we have around 59 people watching now, so if you could hit the like button, that would be very helpful. Right. So in today's session, we have this IPL dataset and we'll be exploring that properly. So first, we'll be doing a lot of exploratory data analysis, and after that, we'll be implementing a classification algorithm to see, which team might win the IPL. So that would be the agenda for today's session. So let me actually go ahead and look at some of the questions in the chat. Nikunj is asking, will you guys teach us from scratch? When you say teach us from scratch, I'll not be teaching you fundamentals of Python. But again, so if, let's say in this particular live session, I'll be using libraries such as pandas and Matplotlib. And if you don't have an idea about these libraries, I'd request you guys to check out our channel. So we have a couple of videos on on the pandas library, on the Matplotlib library. So if you go back to our channel, you will know the fundamentals of it. Since today it is a live session where we have a specific topic to cover, so that is what we'll be doing. And anyway, if you have any doubt, if you're stuck anywhere, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I will take it up. And also, I do want this to be quite an interactive session. So if you have any sort of doubts, you can you can definitely ask it. Shyam Kumar is saying I'd want C language. Well, sure. We can definitely have a live session on C as well. Prakhar is asking studio. Well, this session will be with Jupyter Notebook, and I'll be implementing this with Python and not with R. And if you do want us to do with R, that is also something which we can do. Adarsh and Vinay Naik are saying use Google Colab. Well, personally, I prefer Jupyter Notebook for these sort of tasks, and that is why I'll be using Jupyter Notebook instead of Google Colab. Pooja is asking, can you share the Python notebook that we'll be working on today? Sure. So there'll be a link over here in the chat. So I guess if you click on that link, you'll be able to get the code file. Right. So now that we are done with the basic introduction, we will finally head on with today's session. So in the meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can keep putting them. So I'll head back to the chat later on. So our first task would be to import all of the required libraries. So we have this library called as pandas, which is used for data manipulation. And I am importing this by giving this command import pandas as PD. So PD is the alias for this library called as pandas. Then we have a library for visualization, which is Matplotlib. So we will go ahead and write over here from Matplotlib import pyplot as PLT. So pyplot is the submodule and PLT is the alias for this submodule. Going ahead, we will also import another library for visualization, which is seaborn, and we'll give this an alias of SNS. So these are the three libraries which I'll be importing, and I'll just wait for a while for these libraries to be loaded. It'll just take a couple more seconds. So my laptop is extremely old, so that is why it is taking so much of time. So we have imported all of the required libraries. After this, we will have to load the required dataset on which we'll be working. So we've got this dataset called as matches.csv, and that is what we'll be loading over here. And to load a CSV file, we have this method called as read_csv. So over here we will have pd.read_csv, and inside that we will given the name of the file, which is matches.csv. Then going ahead, we will store it in this object called as IPL. So now that we have loaded the required library, the required data set, I'll just have a glance at some of the records which are there. So to have a glance at the first 5 records which are present in this data frame, I'll just write down IPL.head. So this head method gives you the first 5 records which are present in this data frame. So that is by default. So now let me show you what are the records which are present over here. So first we have the season column, which will tell you in which season was this particular match played. Then we have the city column, which would tell us in which city was this match played. Then we have the date, so the exact date when this match happened. After this, we have the team 1 and team 2, the two teams between whom the match was played. After this, we have the toss winner, which would tell us which team has won the toss. And going ahead, we have the toss decision. So after winning the toss, what has the team decided to do over here? So as you see, between this match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore, so it was actually Royal Challengers Bangalore who had won the toss and they had decided to field over here. Then we have the result. So the result is, so we'll actually go ahead and see it later. So when it comes to result, it's either normal, tied, or no result. So we'll understand that when we go further into the session. Then we have this column called as DL applied, which would stand for Duckworth Lewis. So let's say if there was rain during the match and it was a shortened game because of this rain. So in that case, you will have Duckworth-Lewis method, and so if it was applied, you'll have a 1 over here. If it wasn't applied, you'll have a 0 over here. Then you have this winner column, which will tell you which team has won the match. So between this match of Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore, it was Sunrisers Hyderabad who won the match. Then you have win by runs. So when we say win by runs or win by wickets, so win by runs is basically when a team batting first has won the match. I'll give you an example over here. So let's see between this match of Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore. So let's see if Sunrisers Hyderabad has scored 100 runs and Royal Challengers Bangalore were all out for 65 runs. Then in that case, we will say that so in that case, we'll say that Sunrisers Hyderabad has won the match with with 35 runs. On the other hand, let's say if we have this win by wickets column. So when we say win by wickets, that would basically mean that the team batting second has won the match. So let's say if in this case, if Royal Challengers Bangalore had won the match and if they had lost 5 wickets, then we'll say that Royal Challengers Bangalore has won the match by 5 wickets remaining. Then we have the player of the match. So player of the match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore is Yuvraj Singh. Then we have venue. So venue was Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium, Tuple. Then we have these 3 umpires over here. So first umpire, second umpire, and third umpire. So I see a lot of you are asking to provide the data set. So we can't provide you the data set from our side because there's an open source data set. So I'll just show you where to get the data set from. So what I'll do is I'll open up Kaggle for you guys. I'll just show you guys where you can get this data set from. Go to Kaggle, type in IPL. So here, let's just see if this is the data set. Right. So go to Kaggle, type in IPL, and this is what you'll have. So you would have to go to this particular link over here, and you will have these 2 CSV files. You will have matches.csv and deliveries.csv, and these are the 2 CSV files which I'm using. So if you guys want the dataset, you guys can go ahead and download this dataset from over here, right? So we have provided the code file from our side. If you would want the CSV file or the dataset, you can go to this particular link and download it from over here. So I hope this solves your problem. So a lot of you guys are asking for the dataset, and you can find this dataset from over here. And also it is a request from my side to not spam in the chat. So our aim is to provide knowledge, and if let's say one of you guys is spamming, then that would be counterproductive to the learning of other people. So let's say if someone is spamming, I'll not be able to see all of the questions posted by you guys. And it also sort of, hampers the flow of the session. So I hope you guys understand. Right, so guys, please maintain the decorum. Do not spam in the chat. And I have shown you the link for the dataset, and you will also get the code file when you register over the link. So I hope everything is perfect. Great. So now that we have looked at this, all of the columns which are present over here, now I want to see what is the shape of this. So I'll use this shape method. I will have IPL.shape, and you would see that the result is 636 and 18. which would tell us that there are 636 records in the data frame and 18 columns. Then you see this column, player of the match. So I'd want to see the frequency of different players who have won the most number of man of the match awards. So for that, so let's say if we have a categorical column, and if you would want to find out the frequency of different levels or different categories in a categorical column, then we have the value counts method. So over here I have IPL player of match dot value counts. So I'll start off by giving the name of the data frame first, which is IPL, and inside parenthesis I have I'll give in the name of the column, which is player of the match. Then I'll use dot operator and I'll give in the method. So the method is value counts, and this is what I finally have over here. So as you see, it seems that Chris Gale has won the most number of Man of the Match awards. So he has won 18 Man of the Match awards. Then we have Yusuf Pathan, who has 16 Man of the Match awards. Then we have AB de Villiers with 15, David Warner with 15, Suresh Raina with 14. So yeah, so as I was saying, so I see a lot of you folks are telling me that in the chat you're not able to find the code file. So I hope someone from my team would rectify it. So from our side, we have added the code file over there. So maybe if you guys wait for a few more minutes, you will definitely get the code file. Please have a little bit of patience. Right. So Dharmendra is asking, can we watch it later? Absolutely. So whatever live sessions we do, you can definitely watch it later. So all of the live sessions which we conduct, they are automatically there on our YouTube channel. So once a session is done, you can go ahead and check it out. So now, as I was saying, so this is the list of all of the players who have won the most number of Man of the Match awards. Then, let's say from all of these list of players, I want to see only the top 10 players with most Man of the Match awards. So here, if I would want to see only the top 10 players, what I'd have to do is, after this command, I'd have to give in parenthesis. So what I'll do is I will give in parenthesis over here and I will write down 0:10. So this will give me only the top 10 records from this entire data frame, and this is what I have over here. Now similarly, let's say instead of the top 10 players, if I would want only the top 5 players from this entire data frame, I'll have a 0:5. And this is what I'll be getting over here. So we have the top 5 players: Chris Gale, Yusuf Pathan, AB de Villiers, David Warner, and Suresh Raina. So this is done. And now, if I would want to make a bar plot for the top 5 players with most number of Man of the Match awards. So to make a bar plot, I've told you that we would need a visualization library, and Matplotlib is one such visualization library. So first, as you see over here, I have imported this pyplot sub module with the alias plt. So so this alias is what I'll be using to make this plot. So I'll just explain what everything means over here. Let me insert a cell above this. So when I write plt.figure, fig size is equal to 8,5, what this basically does is it sets out the dimensions of your image. So figure size is 8,5, which is basically the length and width of your image. So now that we have set the length and width of our image, it is time to make a bar plot. And to make a bar plot, we will be using this method called as plt.bar, and this takes in 2 parameters. So the first parameter is a categorical column and the second parameter would be a numerical column. So this order you'd have to remember. So the first is it's definitely a categorical value, second is definitely a numerical value. So here, if you would have to add categories, that would be the names of the players. If you would have to add values, that would be the number of man of the match awards they have received. And if you want these names over here, so when we use IPL player of match value count 0 colon 5, after this, when I just use keys method, you would see that I have got only the names over here. And that is what I'll be using in this plt.bar. And again, this plt.bar takes the values in the form of a list. So I'll have a list over here, and inside this list, I will pass in the names of the players. So first I'll have to give in the name of the data frame, which is IPL. Then I'll give in parenthesis over here. And I'll have to give in the name of the column, which obviously would be player of match. And going ahead, I'll have, since I would want to look at the frequency of it, so I'll have value counts, and from this frequency I would have to look at the only the top 5 records. So here I'll have 0 colon 5, and since I would want the keys, I'll have dot keys over here. So this would be my first parameter. And in the second parameter, I'll have the same thing. It's just that I will remove out the keys method from this. So once I have given the keys and the values over here, I would, let me just make this proper. So I've given these two over here. Then let's say if I would want to give a color to these bars, I'll have a new attribute called as color. And let's say I give the cards a red color, so I'll just write down R over there. Then to print everything out, I would just have to write down plt.show. Let me change this to be equal to T over here, and when I print this out, we have an error over here. Let me just see what exactly is this. Do we have all of these properly? So this has to be H, and over here this has to be H again. So list IPL player of match dot value counts 0 to 5 dot keys. So I'd have to close this over here. Then we have list, and this is also done. So let me hit on run. So this is another list over here. We have closed out this particular list. We have this. I'd have to remove this. Alright, so finally we have made this bar plot over here, and so it was a bit confusing for you guys. Let me just explain. So first we have started off by giving the figure size. Then inside the bar plot, the first parameter is where we give the categorical values, the second parameter is where we give out the values, and the third parameter is where we give the color to these bars. And once all of this is set, we will just go ahead and display or show the results. So for that, we will write down plt.show, and this is what we get. So as you see, Chris Gale with as leading with the most number of player of match awards. Then we've got Yusuf Pathan, AB de Villiers, David Warner, and Suresh Raina. So this is some interesting analysis which we have just performed over here. So I'm just checking some of your questions in the chat. So I hope all of you folks who have registered on Great Learning Academy, you have received the code file right now. SRJMG is asking, are there students from class 11 and 12 here? Well, I'm not sure. You'd have to tell me. Shubhankar is asking, are we taking only first 5 top players? Yes, we are doing this visualization for only the top 5 players with most number of man of the match awards. Sakshi is saying, I went through the PDF file, but it's not supporting because I don't have an app. So what we have given you is the .ipynb file. So .ipynb file is for your Jupyter Notebook. So you'd have to download Anaconda first, and then you'd have to load Jupyter Notebook from your Anaconda. That is when you'll be able to load this code file. Spelling mistake. Yes, I figured that out. Pooja is asking, can you repeat what is keys? Sure. So normally whenever we are dealing with dictionaries or other sort of data structures, we will have a key value pair. Now let's say when I just have this thing over here, IPL player of match dot value count. So here what you see, you have the names of the players and you have the values corresponding to these names. So this will be the key, this will be the value. So Chris Gale is the key, the value is 18. Yusuf Pathan is the key, value is 16. AB de Villiers is the key, value is 15. Now out of this, if I would only want to look at the key, so what I'll do is, I will write down dot key. I will use parenthesis over here and I'll hit on run, and as you see, I will only get the keys, which are the names of the players. So I hope that helps you out. Abhishek Das is asking, which team is winner for IPL 2020? Wait a bit, you'll get to know. Chirag is asking difference between Matplotlib and seaborn libraries. So the answer is quite simple. Seaborn is a visualization library which is built on top of Matplotlib. So whatever you can do with Matplotlib, that you can definitely do with seaborn, but it's just that the capabilities of seaborn are much more higher and much more better than Matplotlib. Abhishek Das is asking, can RCB have chances to win this season? Well, I'm not giving you any spoilers right now, so you just have to wait a bit. We'll do that. Great. So all of you guys have got the file. That is amazing. Awesome. And guys, we have around 115 people watching the session and we have 70 likes. So if you can quickly hit 100 likes, that would be amazing. So if you are enjoying the session, if you find the session to be insightful, all you can do is hit the like button. That would help us a lot. And also for those folks who are new to our channel, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, hit the subscribe button, click on the bell icon. That that again will help us a lot. And also whenever we are coming up with new tutorials or new live sessions, you'll be notified immediately. Right, so we are done with the bar plot over here. Now after this, what are we doing? So I've told you that we've got this result column over here. Let me just show you the result column. And in this result column, we'll have 3 categories. We'll have normal, we'll have tied, we'll have no result. Now, let's understand. Let me actually find out the frequency of this particular categorical column. So I'll head down. And here we have IPL result dot value counts. I'll hit on run. And you see that we have 3 categories. We have normal, tie, and no result. So out of those 636 records, the values for normal is 626, for tie it is 7, for no result it is 3. So when we say that the normal is 626, it would mean that out of the 636 matches played, 626 of them went normally. So you had one team winning the match and one team losing the match. And then you have tie. So you have 7 ties where both of the teams had equal points. Then you have no result, which would mean that the match did not happen because of some reason. Maybe Maybe it would be because of rain or because of something else. So these are the three categories which we have over here. Then we have the toss winner column. So we have this toss winner column. So I'd want to see which team has won the most number of tosses. So that again will show us an interesting insight. So I'll scroll down. So IPL, name of the data frame, inside parenthesis, I'll give in the name of the column. Then I'll have value counts over here. And you would see that Mumbai Indians has won the most number of tosses. So Mumbai Indians has won 85 tosses. Then you have Kolkata Knight Riders close behind with 78 toss wins. Then you have Delhi Daredevils with 72 toss wins. Then you have Royal Challengers Bangalore with 70 toss wins. So this is a bit of information which we have found out. And now what we'd want to do is, so we have looked at which team has won the toss winner. I'd want to see how teams are performing after winning the toss and batting first, or winning the toss and or deciding to chase. So first, let me just scroll down. What are we trying to find out? So first, we are trying to extract all of those records where a team has won the match batting first. So as I've told you, we have these two columns. So if we would want to analyze which team has won more matches batting first, then we need to have a value over here. So this win by runs, you need to have a value over here, right? So either you could have a value over here or here. So either this is, it's a this or this. It can't be and, right? So either you will have a value in this column or you will have a value in this column. So if the team batting first has won the match, you'll have a value in this column. If the team batting second has won the match, you will have a value in this column. Now, I want to see which team has won the most number of matches batting first. So I need to extract all of those records where this value is not equal to 0. Because if this value is equal to 0, that would mean the team batting second has won the match. So here, as you see, what I'm doing is from the IPL data frame, I'm extracting all of those records where the value in win by runs column is not equal to 0. And I am storing it in this new data frame called as batting first. Then I will have a glance at the first 5 records which are present in this data frame. So I'll have batting first dot head, and as you see, I have all of these different columns over here. And if I look at this particular column, win by runs, you would see that we have values over here. You only have values and we have zeros over here. So this is quite an interesting observation. Now what I'd want to see is by how many runs are the teams winning after batting first. So you see, between this match of Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore, Hyderabad won by 35 runs. Between this match of Bangalore and Delhi, Bangalore won by 15 runs. Between this match of Delhi and Pune, Pune won by 97 runs. So I want to understand the distribution of this particular column, because that will let me understand what is the trend, So are actually teams winning by more than 50 runs on a regular basis, or are teams, how many times is it that a team can win by more than 100 runs? So these are the different trends we can understand. And since this is a numerical column over here, so when it comes to numerical column, we'll be building a histogram. So you'd have to understand the difference between a numerical column and a categorical column. So whenever it comes to making a visualization for a categorical column, we'll be making a bar plot. And whenever we'd have to make a visualization for a numerical column, we'll be using a histogram. So I hope that's clear. So again, here we'll do the same thing. We will start off by setting the figure size, which is the dimension of the image, and I will give it 7 cross 7. Once this is done, what I'll do is I will use plt.hist, which will help me make a histogram. And in plt.hist, I will just go ahead and pass in this particular column win by runs. So IPL win by runs. So batting first, win by runs. And I'm just setting the title and X label for this particular plot. So the title is distribution of runs and the X label is runs. Then I will go ahead and run this. So we have quite a beautiful histogram over here. Let me actually reduce the size of the image a bit. Let me maybe keep it 5 and 7, and let's see if we can reduce the size. Right. So here we have distribution of runs and here we have runs, and as you see, so you have 0 to 140. So this is by how many runs the team has won the match. So this on the y-axis which you see, how many matches. So this indicates the number of matches. So if you look at this particular bin over here, this would tell you that there have been around, so there have been around 100 matches where teams have won in the margin of 0 to 20 runs. Similarly, if I look at this particular thing, so there have been around 80 matches played where teams batting first have won in the margin of 25 to maybe 35. Similarly, if you look at this particular bin, this would tell us that there have been around 15 matches where teams batting first have won in the range of 60 to 80 runs. So this peak which you see, right? So this peak tells you that mostly teams batting first will win in the margin of 0 to 40 runs, right? So if a team wins by more than 40 runs, then that would be called a thrashing, right? So in general, if a team is batting first and if it has won the match, so most probably it will be winning somewhere between 0 to 40 runs. And there are very, very few cases where teams are actually winning the match by more than 100 runs. So this is what you see. So we have maybe around 2 or 3 cases where a team batting first has won the match. It has totally dominated the opponent and they have won by more than 100 runs. So I hope everything is clear till now. Let me go back to the chat. Vignesh is asking us, Plotly library free? Yes, Plotly is free with respect to Python as well as R. You don't have to, you don't have to pay anything for this library. And also most of the libraries, 99% of the libraries used in Python are absolutely free. All of them are open source because Python itself is an open source library. So open source language, so all of the libraries which are made for Python would be open source. So we have Desi Cricket 8 in the chat section. Seems like he's a big cricket lover. So thank you very much for attending this session, Desi Cricket. Psycho Leo is asking, where can we use stats in DS? Very good question, because if you have attended my previous sessions, I've been telling you that stats is an integral part of data science and it forms the base of data science. So if you're not good at stats, then if you are attending a lot of data science interviews and if you're not good at stats, then it might be hard for you to crack those data science interviews. So in stats, you'd have to learn the basics of stats. That is absolutely necessary. You'd have to know about measures of central tendency, measures of deviation, normal distribution, and a lot of these. And especially, normal distribution is one important topic in stats which you can never leave out. And also along with normal distribution, you'd have to learn about central limit theorem as well. So I'm just giving you guys some of the main topics in statistics which you would have to learn. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and learn all of these topics. So Vinayak, if you need this IPYNB file, you can get it from the link which we have provided in the chat. Right. So we have done this basic analysis over here. Now what I would want to do is I want to see those teams who have decided to bat first, like which team is performing better after deciding to bat first. So from this sub data frame batting first, I'll be I have the winner column and I would want to check the value counts of this particular winner column. So let me remove this over here, and when I hit on run, this is what we'll have. So as you see over here, Mumbai Indians has won the most number of matches after batting first. So Mumbai Indians has won 47 matches after batting first. Then we have Chennai Super Kings, who have won 46 matches after batting first. Then you have Kings 11 Punjab, who have won 32 matches after batting first. So you see this gap between second and third position. So this is a lot. So seems like, batting first and winning the match is normally a bit difficult. So it's only Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings who have been doing it consistently. The other teams, it doesn't really seem that they can bat first and actually win the match over here. Now, I want to have a glance at the top three teams. So only these three teams. I have Mumbai Indians, I have Chennai Super Kings, and I have Kings 11 Punjab. And I want to make a bar plot for these three teams over here. So the idea would be the same, the procedure would be the same. So we'll start off by setting the dimension size over here, plt.figure. Figure size is 7,7. Then I have plt.bar, and inside this I have three parameters. Obviously, the first parameter would be these categories. So what I'll do is I'll have batting first, winner, value counts dot. I actually have to give in 0:3, and when I write down keys over here, I'll only get Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings, and Kings 11 Punjab, and that is what. So this command is what I'm passing in as the first parameter. And as the second parameter, I'll just remove this dot keys method, and this is what I'll be passing as the second parameter. The third parameter, I am assigning colors for the three different bars. So I am assigning blue color to Mumbai Indians, I am assigning yellow color to Chennai Super Kings, and I am assigning orange color to Kings 11 Punjab. And when I hit on run over here, so as you see, Mumbai Indians, the top team with most number of wins after batting first. Then you have Chennai Super Kings with yellow color. Then you have Kings 11 Punjab with the orange color. Then after this, what we would want to do is I'd also want to make a pie chart to understand this distribution. So let's say what is the percentage of wins for each team after batting first, and for that the ideal geometry would be a pie chart. So again, we'll have plt.figure. I'll set the figure size to be equal to 7,7. Then I'll use plt.py. So till now you would have to, I believe you would have understood how to make these plots. So if you'd have to make a histogram, it will be plt.hist. If you'd want to make a bar plot, it will be plt.bar. And right now, since we are making a pie chart, it will be plt.py. And here we have three parameters. Again, the first parameter. So this is opposite of what we do with the bar plot. So in a pie chart, first we given the numerical entries, then we given the categorical entries, and then if we were to want to, let's say, set the color or maybe given the percentage values, that is also something which we can set in. So first, as I've told you, first we need to pass in the numerical values inside this plt.py. So batting first, winner.value counts. Then I would need the categories. So the second parameter. Till here the command is same. It's just that after this I will use the dot keys method. And after this I am using auto PCT, which will help me to add the percentage values on top of this pie chart. And by default, as you see, I have %, 0.1, F, %. So this 0.1 will mean that I have the percentage values till the first decimal place. And this is the result which I get. So as you see, Mumbai Indians with the most number of wins batting first, so that's 16.4%. Then you have Chennai Super Kings very close behind with 16% wins. After that, you have Kings 11 Punjab with 11.1% wins, Kolkata Knight Riders with 10.8% wins, and so on. So this was all about how teams are performing after batting first. Now let's see how our team's performing after batting second. So I want to know which teams have, which teams have won the most number of matches after batting second. So when it came to batting first, we ensured that win by runs is not equal to 0. So similarly, when it comes to batting second, if I want to extract all the records, the command will be win by wickets is not equal to 0. So IPL win by wickets is not equal to 0, and thus I'll store in this object called as batting second, and I will have a glance at the top 5 records of this data frame. So batting second dot head, and let me show you the win by wickets column. And as you see over here, I have all of these values 7, 10, 6. So between this match of Mumbai Indians and Rising Pune Super Giants, so Pune batted second and won the match, and they won it by 7 wickets. Between this match of Gujarat Lions and Kolkata Knight Riders, Kolkata, they played in the second innings and they won by 10 wickets. So this what you see is quite interesting. So when we say win by 10 wickets, this would mean that the team has not even lost one single wicket. So this is very interesting over here. Over here again, as you see, I have this particular column which is a numerical column. So I want to understand the distribution of this particular column. So I want to understand the distribution of how by how many wickets are the teams winning after batting second. So for this, I'll have to make a histogram. And as you see, I am doing the basic necessary steps. First, I set out the figure size to be equal to 7,7. Then I make a histogram over here. I have plt.hist batting second, and I will choose the win by wickets column. So this bins, let me start off by setting it to be equal to 30. I'll tell you what does the bins attribute do. Then I'll just have plt.show. So as you see, so this gives me the distribution of how teams are winning after batting second. Now if I take these two peaks over here, right? So this what you see is the number of matches. So there have been around, let's say 68 or 67 matches where teams batting second have won with 6 wickets remaining. Similarly, if you look at this particular bin, this would tell you that there have been around 70 matches where teams batting second have won with 7 wickets remaining. If you look at this, so there have been around maybe 10 matches where teams batting second have won with 10 wickets remaining. So 10 wickets remaining is you have not even lost one single wicket. So like these two seem to be the norm over here. So let's say in general, if a team is batting second, and if they've won the match, then most probably they'll either win with, let's say if we take these 3 bars over here, they'll win by 5, 6 or 7 wickets remaining. So that's quite interesting. And if you look at this, right? So there have been very few instances. Maybe there have been only 3 or 4 matches where teams batting second have won with only 1 wicket remaining. So when we say 1 wicket remaining, you have the batsman at number 11 position. So you have that person batting over there. So the team has lost 9 wickets. So you have only 1 more wicket remaining. So in that particular case, the team has went on to win that particular match. So all of this, all of this are quite interesting analysis which you found out from over here. Abhishek is asking, how can we came to know about the wickets whose team has lost the match? So if you follow cricket properly, if you understand these two terms, win by runs and win by wickets. When we say win by runs, it is only the team batting first. So if the team batting first has won the match, then we say that the team batting first has won by so and so runs. Similarly, you have this win by wickets column. So win by wickets comes into place only when the team batting second has won the match, right? So if a team batting first has won the match, it is not, we don't use the term win by wickets. It's only when the team batting second has won the match, that is when we say that, so over here, let's say over here, the team batting second is Pune and they have won the match by 7 wickets remaining. So that is that is how you use these terms by convention. I hope you get that, Abhishek. Dharmendra, for the datasets, I've told you dataset is something which will not provide you because this is not our dataset. We've got this from Kaggle. Code file is something which we can provide you because that is something I've created from my side. So if you would want the dataset, you would have to go to this particular site, kaggle.com, go to Kaggle, search for IPL. And the dataset which I'm using for this is matches.csv. And also if we have enough time, I'll also work on this deliveries.csv file. So go to this particular website, download these two CSV files. You have deliveries.csv and matches.csv. Desi Cricket is asking, what is the duration for learning and becoming ML engineer? That would depend on a lot of factors, Desi Cricket. So I mean, let's say if you are a complete newbie into the field of technology and data science, so then you would have a lot of pillars to master. So the first pillar, obviously, let's say if you are completely from a non-technical background, the first pillar would be programming languages. So when it comes to ML, Python is essentially important. So maybe let's say the first 3 to 4 weeks you will spend in completely learning Python. So you learn all of the important libraries, all of the basic fundamentals of Python. Then you will learn, then you will come to the statistics side of things. So again in statistics, maybe you'll spend another 3 to 4 weeks where you'll learn all of the fundamentals of stats, linear algebra, metrics calculations, probability and all of that stuff. Then when it comes to machine learning, you will be comprehensively learning about supervised learning algorithms, unsupervised learning algorithms, and how to implement them from scratch, and also how to implement them with the scikit-learn library. So let's say if you're a complete newbie, then maybe give yourself around 3 months of time. If you're learning by yourself, if you are spending, let's say 2 to 3 hours of it, give it at least 3 months of time. And maybe let's say if you are good at programming languages, but if you don't really know about stats and ML, then maybe give yourself around 2 months of time. So I hope that answers your question. So when it comes to data science or ML, there is no shortcut. So you have to learn whatever is required. Now, let's say, if some of you guys are thinking that if I watch this particular session, will I become a data scientist? Obviously, that is not possible. You wouldn't become a data scientist in one single day. You would have to put in the grind. You'd have to put in, the effort. That is when you'll learn all of the skills. Great. So we don't have a lot of time right now. So I'll head back to the questions later on. So we have done this, and after this what I'd want to do is, so as I had done with teams batting first, similarly I'd want to see when it comes to teams batting second, which team has won the most number of matches batting second. So I have this batting second data frame. I'll use this winner column, and on top of this I will use the value counts method. And as you see over here, it is Kolkata Knight Riders who has won the most number of matches batting second. So Kolkata Knight Riders has won 46 matches. Then we have Mumbai Indians who have won 44 matches batting second. Then we have Royal Challengers Bangalore, who have won 42 matches batting second. So as you see, this is quite interesting over here, right? So the difference between the number of wins is not much. But when we talk about the difference in the number of wins of batting first, that is quite a lot. So this basically tells you that when it comes to IPL, maybe teams they don't really do that well when it comes to batting first, but teams batting second, it is much more easier to chase rather than put on a score and defend that particular score. Now again, if I would want to have a glance at the top 3 teams with most number of wins, I would want to make a bar plot for this. So as you see, first I will start off by setting the figure size. I'll have plt.figure, and inside this I will set the figure size to be equal to 7, 7. Then since this is a bar plot, first I'd have to give in the categories. So it'll be batting second, winner, value counts 0 to 3, and I will use this dot keys method over here. Second parameter are the values. Then I'm just giving colors over here. So let me show you the colors. We have purple, blue and red. So at the top we have Kolkata Knight Riders, that is why we have given a purple color. Then we have blue for Mumbai Indians. Then we have red for Royal Challengers Bangalore. And as you see, we have made a plot for the top 3 teams who have won most matches after batting second. RCB, you can understand that because they've been good at chasing, but when it comes to defending their totals, most often what happens that their bowlers are not able to defend the total which their batsmen have put in. More often than not, this has been the major problem with RCB season after season, and also it seems like this might be the same problem this season as well. Right, so we just have to wait and see how the bowlers would perform this particular season for RCB to find out if RCB can actually win the title or not this particular season. Now, similarly, I'll just make a pie chart to understand the distribution of most number of wins after batting second. So figure size, it is 7, 7, and since this is a pie chart over here, so first I'd have to give in the numerical entries, then I would have to give in the categorical values. So batting second, winner dot value counts, and here I have batting second, winner dot value counts dot keys, and I'll have auto PCT over here. So as you see, most number of wins batting second, that is Kolkata Knight Riders with 13.6% wins. Then you have Mumbai Indians with 13% wins, you have Royal Challengers Bangalore with 12.4% wins, and so on. So I hope this is clear till now. So there's a lot more to cover actually, and since we're actually done with this, what we'll do is maybe we'll cover whatever is left in our next live session. So we'll schedule another live session. We'll cover whatever is left which we haven't covered in this particular session. You will get to know when that particular session is. So quickly I'll just go through the questions which are there. Abhishek is asking, what is the difference between list and tuple in Python? So as Sanju says, tuple is immutable, list is mutable, which would basically mean that once you create a tuple, you can't really alter, modify or delete the values which are there in a tuple. But when it comes to a list, you can modify it, or you can delete it, or you can add new elements inside a list. Gurkanik is asking, why can't I have access to your free courses or materials from Europe? I'm not really sure about this, Gurkan. Most probably irrespective of which part of the planet you're staying, you must be able to access the files. But if there's a problem with the Europe servers, I'm not really sure. So if you have a problem, maybe you could send us a mail. We will definitely check it out. Gurkhan, I apologize for this because I honestly have no idea about why the Europe servers aren't working. Abhishek is asking, is indentation required in Python? Yes, indentation is required in Python. If you don't provide the proper indentation, you will get errors. Psycholio is asking, can we download this file for practice? Yes, you can. So the code file, you'll be able to find it out in the link over here in the chat. Right. So guys, we are done with today's session. I hope it was insightful. I hope you guys learned something, something which helped you out. And whatever we are left with, that will definitely cover, we'll schedule another live session and we'll cover all of that in the next live session. So thank you very much and have a great learning ahead.